What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great evening. It is 6:02 p.m. here in Medellin, Colombia. My name is Andrew, and this is the Medellin Buzz live show. Today, we're going to be talking about where to live in Medellin. We'll wait until a few more people join us here, and I'll get started with the topic. But today is going to be an interesting topic because I'm going to go over where people should live. I shouldn't say where you should live. I'm going to show you different neighborhoods. Obviously, you'll make your own decision when you do come down here to live. But I'm going to show you the neighborhoods. I'm going to show you what there is to do in those neighborhoods, what the lifestyle is like in the neighborhoods, what you could look forward to, etc. So I hope everyone's having a great evening. Grab yourself a drink, maybe some dinner. Plop yourself in front of the TV, your cell phone, tablet, computer, whatever it is that you're watching on, and we'll go over some stuff. And hopefully this will be informative for you. Let me turn the music back up. I love this jazz. I mean, this is free music by YouTube, by the way. It's like royalty free. I think it's pretty neat that they offer royalty free music for streamers. But anyway. Yeah, today has been a good day. It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. It is 6:04 p.m. here in Medellin, Colombia. Hope you guys are all having a great day wherever you are. I had a great day and having a good evening. The sun's going down over here. I've got my window open. You can't really see any sunlight coming through because it's almost pretty much gone. And yeah, today's stream is going to be about living in Medellin and where to live in Medellin. We're going to go over the various neighborhoods, yes, including Envigado, CAC, and Sabaneta. I'm going to include both of those areas. I'm not going to go too much into detail in those areas because I'll save that for another stream. I'm going to talk about the different areas in Medellin, go into detail into those areas where a lot of people do find desirable. Some are expensive, some are less expensive, but all of them are nice, desirable areas where I have either lived or I would like to live. So I'm going to go into detail. What's up, James? Hope you're having a good day. Rudy Mendez, hope you're having a good day as well. Michael, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Ronald, hope you're having a great day as well. Welcome in. So yeah, I guess after being here for 16 years, and living in 8 different neighborhoods now, I've gotten a real good grasp on the different neighborhoods and also what they offer, right? Like there are different things that each neighborhood offers. And it's funny because even though Medellin, I still consider it like a small city. There's like about 2.5 million people in the city, living in the city. In the vicinity, there's like 4 million if you count all of the other towns and cities that are adjacent to Medellin. There's about 4 million people in the metropolitan area, I guess you would call it. But I still consider it kind of like a small city. You still get a small town vibe and a lot of the neighborhoods. Obviously, the lower the income neighborhood it gets, the more of like a barrio or even like a pueblo feel you get, which is great for a lot of people. When I first got here in 2010, that was what I loved about it because it was so different from living in the United States. Even when we were poor in the United States and we lived in lower income neighborhoods, it wasn't the same as a lower income neighborhood in Medellin or in Colombia for that matter. But yeah, particularly here, since the topic is Medellin, yeah, it was never anything like that. So I want to go over some of the different things about the neighborhoods in Medellin. Maybe some of the neighborhoods will make sense for you. Maybe they won't, but I'll get started with this topic. So I've got a lot of notes here, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you the Google map. But yeah, today, before we get started, my day was pretty good. I mean, Bad Bunny is in town. So his first concert of the weekend is tonight. The second concert is tomorrow night. And then Sunday night, he has a concert. So The city is buzzing. El Poblado, particularly where I was at today, this morning, Barrio Manila, working out of the cafe that I always work at. The cafe has been busy pretty much all week. Like, it's been nonstop. I feel sorry for the waitresses and the cooks there because they've been, because they're like my friends now. I've been going there for 9 years since it's been open, 8 years or so. So I know them all very, very well. And they're like, yeah, we're like the busiest at these, when we have these events in town. Like when Karol G was in town, it was the same thing. When Madonna was in town a few years ago, it was the same thing. It's the same. Whenever they have these big events, it's like those cafes get full. They get slammed with people. They run out of things. So yeah, the city has been pretty lively. There was already traffic when I was walking home from the gym at like 5 o'clock. There was already traffic on Calle 10, like back to, bumper to bumper type traffic, like the type of traffic that you get at 9 p.m. going up into Provenza was like what it is now. So it's definitely, we definitely feel the Bad Bunny effect going on right now. What's up, Michael P? Hope you're having a good day. Buck Travel, hope you're having a good day. What's up, Ches? Hope you're having a good day as well, or good evening, I should say. But yeah, we're in full effect here in Medellin with Bad Bunny, and I think that's great. My sister and Manuela are gonna go. They asked me if I wanted to go, and although I like Bad Bunny, I'm not a hater. I do like Bad Bunny, and I do like the reggaeton genre, but it's just not something that I listen to, or that I know his songs because they'll play them at a bar. Or if I do go to a club, that one time last year that I went to a club, one of my brother's wedding and stuff. I mean, I'll hear it, and you hear it, from time to time, but it's not something that I have on my Spotify. It's not something that I'm like passionate to go spend, I think it's like minimum $400 or something like that on a ticket to go see. I'd rather spend that money on a Stereo Picnic and watch the Deftones in March, or go to see Korn in May. Like, that is on my Spotify. I do listen to that almost every day at the gym type stuff. So yeah, it's just, you got to pick and choose your battles, and I'd rather just not go. What's up, Jesse? Hope you're having a good day. Hi from Gabby and me. Hello, Gabby. Hello, Jesse. Hope you're having a great evening. Process the journey. Hope you're having a great day. Salute. Okay, so let's talk about the topic today. So today, if you're an American or just any foreigner, I say American because most of my audience is American, but this can apply for anyone in North America, even Mexico. We have Puerto Ricans that have come down here and joined the masterclass for relocating out here. We've gotten people from Europe. We've gotten people from New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. So we've got people from all over the globe. But the title says Americans because that is my main audience. I would say 85% of the people that watch me are from the United States, according to Google Analytics or YouTube Analytics. So if you are American or a foreigner coming from a different country to live in Medellin in 2026, this decision matters. Where you're going to live matters. Most people choose I wouldn't say most, but many people choose the wrong place to live when they don't do research, when they don't test a neighborhood out, when they just go by what they saw on the internet. Maybe they read a blog post or they saw YouTube videos and they're like, okay, I have to live here. And then they're there with a month-long contract or a 3-month contract, and they're like, okay, this is not the neighborhood for me. So this decision definitely matters, especially if you're coming down here for long term. This is not a travel video. I am not a travel vlog into Medellin. A lot of people that watch my videos, I would say the majority of the people that watch my videos, watch my channel, are people that have already been to Medellin or that are seasoned travelers. Maybe they're already expats in another country, and maybe they've grown tired of that country and they're looking for a new destination. So they're not new to this relocation game. My channel is not for people that are coming down here just to travel for the weekend. There are other channels that show you what you can do on a weekend and, go to Comuna 13, go to Guatapé, all of that stuff, which I'm not I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying that my target audience for my business, because this is a marketing tool for me and I'm very upfront about that, are people that are relocating, whether it's permanently or part-time, to Medellin, or have the idea to do it sometime in the future, buy a property, maybe start a business out here. People that are like-minded, just like me. I live here full-time. I start businesses almost every other year here in Colombia, living here in Medellin. I have properties. I have a real estate company, a relocation company. So I want to attract those type of people that will, that what I say resonates with them, and that their lifestyle resonates with me, because ultimately we just become friends and or business partners sometimes. So let me tell you who this live is for and who should probably click off. This is for people that have either been to Medellin already or are very interested in living in Medellin. You're not looking for cheap partying, hookers, blow, all that stuff. There are other channels for that. Again, not knocking it, don't judge. I'm just saying that this live stream and my channel is not for that. This is for those people that who do care about lifestyle design, creating a productive lifestyle down here, a happy lifestyle down here. People who care about walkability, people who care about safety, people who care about long-term comfort. Even if you're just going to be here, let's say 3 or 6 months out of the year, it's still for you. It's also for those that are earning more than $3,000 a month. If you're earning less than $3,000 a month, a lot of this stuff will apply for you. But this live stream is geared towards my target audience. Again, people that are making over $3,000 a month. As a matter of fact, most people that join the Medellin Masterclass are making well over $3,000 a month, and many of them make well over $10,000, $20,000 a month, because they are entrepreneurs, people that work online, people that have great careers and that can work remote, and or retirees that work their whole life and have made a great living and now are enjoying it and living down here. Many of them are early retirees, not people that are in their 60s or 70s, but early retirees that have retired earlier and are just enjoying life down here, and also contributing to the community, giving back to do charity work, volunteer work, etc. That's who we are. So, so this live stream is also for those, like I mentioned before, people that are looking to move to Medellin, whether it's part-time or full-time, or maybe just you're interested in buying an investment property down here and maybe not living here full-time, maybe just coming down here once a year. We have many of those as well. We've had many clients like that as well. So if you're looking for cheap rent, if you're looking for party places and travel tips, this is not the live stream for you. We're going to go over the neighborhoods in Medellin right now. I'm going to share my screen, show you on Google Maps the neighborhood that I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of that neighborhood, tell you about the restaurants, the cafes, the gyms in the area, the lifestyle that you can live in that neighborhood. And we'll also take a look at what rents are going for, both on Airbnb, if you're going to be furnished renting it, you know, getting a furnished rental on Airbnb for like a month, which I usually do advise to people if they're coming down here for the first time or they're early in their relocation process. Rent out a place in the neighborhood that you've chosen for about a month to feel it out, because you don't know until you're there. Be there for about a month. You could do it on Airbnb, and then once you're ready for a long-term investment, meaning like a year-long contract through a local agency, we'll also look at what the price difference is between a furnished rental on Airbnb and then an unfurnished rental through a local agency. We'll also talk about budget. Well, we talked about budget. I mean, you should be around $3,000 or more if you're coming down here and living here permanently without having to like get a job or something like that. Not that that is not possible. It's just not who I cater my services to. I don't teach people how to get jobs in Colombia or jobs online. There are very many channels on that. I did it myself. I learned everything that I know online as to digital marketing, how to do a stream online, how to make a business. All of the stuff I've learned myself, most of it for free online. There are many resources, but in this channel, we're just talking about people that already have that and are looking to relocate. All right, so this stream will save you time and hopefully money, because time is money usually. So let's get started. Let's talk about, and obviously, as I go through this, I'll go back to the chat to answer your questions. So feel free to put them in there. But let me share my screen here with you. And let's get this map up here. Here it is. Here's the map. I'll share the screen here. So this is the map of Medellin. The first neighborhood is going to be the obvious one, which is El Poblado. The problem with El Poblado, and the problem that many people have when they think about moving to Medellin, let me move myself here. There we go. The problem that a lot of people face is that they think that El Poblado is just Provenza and Parquelleras, just the touristy area, where that couldn't be further from the truth. El Poblado, if I type in here, actually, maybe I could zoom in and I'll see it here. El Poblado down here. I can't even click. There's no El Poblado name here. So let me just put it on the map here. I'll just put El Poblado, Medellin. So this is why a lot of people think that El Poblado is just this right here. This is Calle 10. And as you can see, you got Parquelleras right here. You've got Provenza up here, and it's highlighted this area, but that's not El Poblado. This is just one neighborhood of the 22 neighborhoods in El Poblado. El Poblado actually spans all the way from up here, adjacent to downtown. Here's Ciudad del Rio, and it spans all the way. So from the north up here, near San Diego, Barrio Colombia is over here, all the way down to the border of Envigado and Medellin, which is down here. It's cool because you know that you're at the border because the neighborhood that borders Medellin on the Poblado side, Medellin and Envigado, is called La Frontera, like the border. That's what the neighborhood's called, which is right here. As you can see, the park, it says Parque La Frontera. This park is called the Border Park, I guess. And this is the border. So it spans between 22 different neighborhoods. So let's talk about the different neighborhoods first. Let me put this down here. So the first one that a lot of people already know about is this area, which is the Provenza area, where you have all of the nightlife, where you've got all the restaurants, where you've got all the cafes, things to do in the day or at night. Provenza has it all right there. The thing it doesn't have is a mall yet. It does have a small mall called Vizcaya. The Vizcaya Mall is a small mall that has a gym. It also has, I'll show it to you here. It also has, right there. Oh, wait, that's the Vizcaya Mall. There we go. There it is. It's right here. This is the mall. It also has a Cine Colombia, which is the movie theater. So there is a mall walking distance from Provenza, or right in Provenza, basically, in the neighborhood of Vizcaya. So you've got Provenza over here, and then you've got Vizcaya over here. And obviously, if you go all the way up here, you've got El Tesoro. So these neighborhoods are going to be more expensive. If I go on Airbnb, and for example, instead of putting Provenza in here, I'm going to put Vizcaya. Medellin. And I'm just going to go flexible monthly. Oh, there's my Airbnb. That's nice, but I'm not near there. I'm over here. Okay, so Vizcaya. So as you can see, right now, obviously rates are going to be a little higher because of the fact that Bad Bunny is here. But for per month, I think it's going to be averaging this. Here's an interesting one. You could get a furnished apartment. This is a studio apartment for $1,000. $1,000.64 for this studio apartment in Provenza, furnished. It looks nice. Oh, I know this building. Yeah, this is a daily rental building too. It looks nice, but it's not remodeled. I can tell that the kitchen is hasn't been remodeled in at least 20 years. You could tell that right away. Yeah, that's the kitchen. Looks like that episode where Jerry Seinfeld had his kitchen remodeled and they put cabinets everywhere. But anyway, so this one's $1,000 if you're living in that area. It's not bad. It's got a little balcony here. I know where it is. You walking distance from Provenza, walking distance from all the cafes. If you're a digital nomad, that's great because you could walk pretty much anywhere to the WeWork down the street, to the malls. You'll probably take an Uber up to El Tesoro. You could walk down the hill to Santa Fe, but you could find $1,000 a month rental, furnished rental. Now let's take a look at this one, $1,400. For $1,400, you get a one bedroom. In this neighborhood, it looks like it's in a building that is a 4-story or a 2-story building. Yeah, it's a 2-story building right here. It's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. You get your own little house there, I guess. Oh, wait. That's huge inside. It looks small from the outside. Look how small this building looks. This building looks tiny. But this is what it looks like inside. Hold on. Look, this is just giant. Okay, so this is like a legit hotel or Airbnb building. Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. Now let's take a look at something that's maybe a little bit bigger because some people might need something bigger. We're talking about this area. We're talking about the area of Provenza or near Provenza here, which is Vizcaya. This one's for $3,000. $227 a month. It's pretty nice. I mean, definitely a big difference between the $1,000 one and the $3,000 one for sure per month. Yeah, it actually looks very beautiful. I like it. I mean, but based on the reviews, it's got 6 reviews, 5 stars. It probably looks that way when you walk into it, but it's good to check that as well. But anyway, so that's $3,000. Now let's go on a local site. Sorry, I'm not responding to your questions on the live chat yet. I will once I finish showing you this. So if I go apartamento en arriendo, and I'm just going to put El Poblado in Medellin. We got sponsored links. Okay, let's go Metro Cuadrado, which is a very popular one in Colombia to look for, or at least in Medellin, to look for apartments. And I'm in El Poblado. So let's look at unfurnished apartments and see where they're at compared. Remember, we saw a studio apartment furnished on Airbnb for as low as $1,064. And this other one. This is a 1-bedroom, another 1-bedroom, but obviously way nicer. It looks bigger. It's just literally 1 bedroom for $3,227. So that's a big range. The $1,000 one looked like this, and you could tell it hasn't been remodeled. This one looks like this. I'm assuming that this one has amenities in the building. Let's see. 25 amenities. Let's see. Washer, dryer, refrigerator. Oh, it's got air conditioning as well. The other one doesn't look like it has air conditioning. So it's a big difference. Holy cow. Looking at this, I feel like I'm charging, my apartments are too cheap at $2,500. And mine's a 2-bedroom. Okay, anyway. So I'm assuming that this has some amenities and it's right there in Vizcaya. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these apartments. We'll look at a 2-bedroom. Let's see, this one. Let's look at this one. I'm just going to click on these at random. So this one would be This one's in Castropol. Okay, so let's not look at that one because it's Castropol. Let's see, Vizcaya. Let's see if they... Vizcaya. Oh, they do have a Vizcaya option. Vizcaya. Medellin. Barrio Medellin. Okay, so these are in Vizcaya. Okay. Look at the price difference on this. This one's about $1,100 or $1,200. For this one, in Vizcaya, in the same area, this would be unfurnished for $1,100. And this is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 90 square meters. So about 1,100 square feet or so. Let's see, can I zoom this in? I hate how they do this. I can't zoom in on these pictures. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this is the apartment right here. So for the same price as this, you could get a 1-bedroom furnished in a non-renovated apartment in Vizcaya for about $1,100. What's 4.5 million? Let's see, COP to USD. 45000. Yeah, so about $1,200. $1,258 a month. You can get this apartment. Is this furnished? It looks furnished. Like the pictures are furnished. Según la fecha del número de la persona, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Amoblado. Oh, look. Maravilloso apartamento amoblado en arriendo. Exclusiva zona residencia de lindos antejardines con cercancia al centro de negocios Vizcaya. So it's next to that mall with the movie theater. Parque Lleras, Parque San José. Vías principales, área de 90 metros aproximadamente. Sector El Poblado. Es quinto piso, estrato 5. So this is estrato 5. It's not estrato 6. But yeah, that's amazing. This is a furnished apartment off of the platform. It doesn't look as nice as the $3,000 one because it's not all new, but this'll do. I mean, if I were considering a move to Medellin, I would definitely be hitting up this person right here and being like, look, I'm considering renting this apartment for more than a month or two. What kind of price can you give me? Let's look at others because that looks like a steal. This one's a little bit more expensive, $5,800,000. This one's $5,800,000. About $1,622 a month for this one over here. This is also furnished. Let's see. Can we see any that are non-furnished? Okay, this one's not furnished right here in Vizcaya. This one's about maybe $1,100 now with the exchange rate. 42. Yeah, about $1,174 a month for this one right here. Except the cookies there. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Vizcaya. Same area right there. Look, there's the mall. That's the mall with the movie theater in it. And you're just literally walking distance from Provenza. Oh, they did remodel the kitchen. So the kitchen is remodeled. It's got pretty cool tile back there. Rooms look pretty big. It's an older building, you can tell right away. It hasn't been completely remodeled, but at least it looks nice, unfurnished. So that's the difference. For the price of a 1-bedroom studio apartment that doesn't have a bedroom. It's just a studio apartment on Airbnb, which is right here. This one right here. It's $1,064. Or you could go to the local route and contact these people and pay $1,100 a month for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. It's got a parking spot. It's 100 square meters. Wow, okay. So that's pretty darn good. 100 square meters. What is that? Square meters to feet. Let's see. 100 square meters is about 1,076 square feet. So not bad. So yeah, that's the biggest difference. And that's just in the Provenza area, which is the most expensive area. Imagine what it is in the other neighborhoods that we're going to look at. Now let's go back to the chat here so I could say hi and or answer any of your questions. Of course, I can't see the chat. There it is. Okay. Oscar, thank you so much for the super chat. Oscar says, what's the washer dryer situation in apartments for rent in a neighborhood like El Poblado? Are they included in the unit? Do they have laundry rooms? Or is it something you need to buy on your own? Great question. Thank you. Thumbs up for that. Thank you for the donation, by the way. $10 dono by Oscar. But yeah, so washer and dryers don't come with apartments when you rent them, unless if you rent them furnished, like on Airbnb, or like what we just saw, what I was just showing you, off of Airbnb on other platforms. Maybe they're just not as beautifully remodeled, but they should have at least a washer, and then you hang dry. Most Colombians hang dry. Even like the people that have money will choose to hang dry. I don't know why, when you could just buy the stackable combo now. Now, I mean, you'll see it a lot, but when you rent an apartment through the local route, no refrigerator and no washer dryer. They have everything to put it in, though. They've got the gas line, they've got the water line, and they should have a laundry area where it fits, but it doesn't come with the rental unless if you're renting it furnished. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so that's El Poblado. That's the Vizcaya area. The studio comes out to $35 a day. It's a great deal. Yeah, I know that building. It's a 3-star building. Definitely not a 5-star building, but again, if you're considering a move and you're like, okay, I don't need a 5-star building, but I want to be in this area, like the Provenza area, the Vizcaya area, that's a pretty good place to stay at, because you could do recon. You don't need anything flashy. You don't need anything super nice, and you know, you don't need anything more than that. That's perfectly fine. Hi, Andrew. I have an apartment in Sabaneta. Is it feasible to furnish it and rent it short-term instead of annually? The community doesn't allow daily rent it daily. Can you give me your best advice? Well, it doesn't matter what the community wants or what doesn't want. It depends on what your propiedad horizontal says you could do, what the rules of the apartment are, of the building. Like, what? First of all, is it zoned commercial in order for you to do dailies? Number 2 is the propiedad horizontal. Do you guys have the license to do the short-term rentals? Are you allowed to do short-term rentals? Number 3 is, what does the HOA say? Because the HOA can have its own rules as well. So you need to know what the city has zoned that building and that area for. Number 2, you've got to know what the building was built at and what it allows for. And number 3, check with your HOA. As long as all of those align and they say, all of them say that you could do daily rentals, short-term rentals, then you could do short-term rentals. If any of them say this is zoned residential, there's only the minimum stays are 30 days, then that's what you can only do. And sometimes the building will have that in its propiedad horizontal. It says you could do 30-day rentals, but then the HOA and all of the owners have decided that you could only do 6-month or yearly rentals. So you want to check all of that before you make a mistake. And of course, if you're going to be putting it up on Airbnb, there are things that you have to abide by, or rules that you have to abide by. But really, I would start with at least with the HOA first and say, hey, I'm thinking of renting this out monthly or month to month. Am I allowed to do that? And if they say yes, say, okay, I need a copy of the propiedad horizontal. If you bought the apartment, you probably already have that. If you don't, then you could probably get it at the notary where it's registered. And then you could check there just to be sure that 30-day rentals are fine. And then after that, you should be good. 30-day rentals, but most people in most buildings, I would say 95% of all the buildings in Medellin, you can only do 30-day rentals and more. You can't do daily because they're mostly residential. Tate says, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but T-A-T, or Tatted Swole, a muscular tatted man, says, I want to buy an investment property to Airbnb it. Must I spend $160,000 or can I buy something cheaper? Would that investment allow me to get me my visa since it's an investment property? So first of all, to answer your question, yes, you can buy an apartment any price. You could buy a $50,000 apartment. But if you want to apply for the investment visa through your property investment, there's a minimum investment that you must meet, and it's about $163,000. If it's not over $163,000 and you apply for the investor visa, they'll deny it because it doesn't meet the minimum requirement. If you need help with that, if you are looking to buy a property around 160 or more, there's a link in the description for a form that you could fill out, and then we'll help you to do that and help you find the property, and also make sure that your attorney knows exactly what you're working with or working on. So definitely you should be aware of the minimum investment values, which is about $163,000 this year. But let's say you don't want the visa. You're only going to come here, 6 months out of the year as a tourist. Then you don't need the investment visa. You could buy a cheaper property, put it up on Airbnb, rent it out, and you have a place when you come down here for 3 or 6 months. Now, if you want to be here more permanently, then yeah, you're going to have to up your budget or apply for a different type of visa, like a shareholder visa, which is cheaper. Maybe start a business out here, which is cheaper. Well, technically it's cheaper, but it could be more expensive over time if it's like a new business for you and it becomes a money pit. I've seen that happen to a lot of entrepreneurs that come down here, and they're new entrepreneurs. They set up a restaurant or a cafe, and it just becomes a money pit for them because they've never had a restaurant. They've never been in the service industry. So yeah, be aware of that. Chris says, hola, señor. You have a whole store in the Bronx, NYC, hearing you right now. Hey, let's go. What's up, the Bronx? Bond says, no sweat, enjoying seeing the places. Awesome. DJ says, greetings from Barranquilla, Andrew and friends. What's up, DJ Benny? Hope you're having a great evening. Danny says, I'm real inspired about the life story of Andrew and how he started from the bottom here in Colombia. An inspiration for real. I'd love to start my own business too someday. Someday is today, brother. You are a business. Know that. So start investing. How do you start investing? If you have no money, you invest your time. How do you invest your time? In getting better at whatever it is that you can make money at. Make yourself more valuable. Don't wish for more money. Wish to become more valuable in life, and then the money will come. That's the way I've led my life. I've worked very menial jobs. I've worked as a teacher down here when I got here for $4 an hour, all while learning digital marketing at night and hustling to get clients from the United States that would pay me $300, $400 a month until we got our digital marketing agency big enough where we could charge $50,000, $60,000, $120,000 a month at one point at our height. I got burnt out with digital marketing. So I just niched down to a very specific niche, which is the mental health niche. I only have a handful of clients now. I have a small team, and I'm much happier that way. And obviously I have my other businesses, which are also my passion projects, like selling real estate down here, having my own Airbnbs that I've remodeled, having the relocation company called the Medellin Masterclass. And now, this year, starting February 1st, we're starting Nomad Spanish Medellin.com, which is evening classes for expats, digital nomads, people that work during the day that want to take evening Spanish classes from 5 to 7 p.m. right here in Barrio Manila. So I'm always creating and I'm always investing in myself. So don't say that you'd like to do it someday. Do it now. Will says, can you rent these 12 months without a fiador? You'd have to contact them. These that are furnished right here, I'm assuming, this is Monopolio. So they're a local company that does furnished rentals. I'm assuming you don't need a fiador for this because they're catering to travelers, people that are here for months but not here permanently. So I would assume that if you go to Metro Cuadrado and you see something that says amoblado, which is furnished, you're not going to need a fiador. Now, for example, this one over here, where was that? The one that was completely unfurnished. This one, let's see, who's the company that does this one? Of course, it doesn't have a company. It doesn't have the company name here, and they don't have a watermark. Oh, it does. Oh, it's Metro Cuadrado. Oh, IRD. So this is how you can find out. So look on the watermark. It says IRD. What does it say? Let me see if I could zoom in there. Inmobiliaria. IRD Inmobiliaria. All right. IRD Inmobiliaria. Oh, there it is. Inmobiliaria. Oh, that's their logo right here. So this is their actual homepage where you could even look for more. But what you could do is just hit them up on WhatsApp right here. Just add them on WhatsApp and say, hey, I'm interested in apartment number whatever, because they have a number here. They should have a number. Yeah, right here, código whatever. I'm interested in this one. I would like, oh, you're not even seeing my screen. Let me see. Let me show you my screen. So this is what I did. So this is the Metro Cuadrado page. Most of these pages, if they're unfurnished, you're probably going to have to, you'll probably need a fiador and go through all the hoops. But some of them, they'll make a deal with you. And it's worth asking. I found out that this one is IRD Inmobiliario. I Googled it. I found their website right here, and their WhatsApp number is right here. Like you just click on that and it goes right to WhatsApp. You could start talking to a rep and just say, hey, I'm from out of town, but I'm going to be here for a long period of time. Oh, look, they also have furnished rentals too. So yeah, I think local real estate rental companies are getting keen, or at least savvy enough to be like, okay, there has to be some sort of insurance for these flight risks, which are tourists coming down here that want to rent the apartment for a month or maybe 6 months. At 6 months, you're not really a tourist, but there are people that want to do shorter than a year-long contract and can't go through all the hoops. How can we help them? They seem to have furnished rentals, so they must have a way to rent these. Look at this one. This was in El Poblado. This one's $5,800,000. Which in COP, in USD, is about $1,622. Furnished rental, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Definitely a better deal than Airbnb for sure. And it's on La Linde. Okay, La Linde neighborhood. So it's walking distance from Provenza as well, and all the cafes, walking distance from Manila. So yeah. So literally that's what I would do. I would Google it, look at the local websites, and then start talking to them on WhatsApp, letting them know that you're not a flight risk and see how you can work it out with them. Michael says, what's the name of the local website? It's called Metro Cuadrado. And in English, it would be square metered. Square meter. Square meter in English, and Spanish, Metro Cuadrado. Yeah, they'll have washboards too. Yeah. Yes, I stayed there also. Walking up the hill is rough though. Yeah, definitely. Anywhere in that area that I showed in the map above Provenza, it's a hill. So you're going to either be taking Ubers or taxis, or you're going to be working your butt off. You're going to work on your glutes walking up the hills. I thought the new minimum wage was 2 million pesos, and that's the investment visa is 3. The minimum wage now is less than 2 million pesos. It's like 1,750,000 or something like that, I believe. But you could check it. Yeah, I mean, you just Google it. Owen says, what if 2 years later, due to inflation or lower exchange rate, your investment falls below the minimum? Great question. So my attorney, she's dealt with this thousands of times over the last 10 years that she's been working as a real estate attorney, helping people buy properties down here to get an investor visa. And she says that whenever they need to renew a visa, let's say you bought your property 5 years ago, or not 5 years ago, let's say you bought your property 2 years ago. The minimum investment, let's say, was $120,000. You bought a property for $130,000. Now it's 2026 and you need to renew today, but the minimum investment is $163,000. Technically, you wouldn't be allowed to renew because you'd fall short. She says that when they renew, in her experience, they've always taken the year that you bought your property at as the minimum investment requirement. And I told her, well, what if the government says, or you get a hard ass, at the visa renewal place, and they say, oh, you don't qualify. What would be your recourse at that point? She said, well, since you bought it, let's say 2 years ago in 2024 or 2023, since then, the property has appreciated at the very least by 10%. So we add that appreciation, or you get it reevaluated by a professional so that you can show that the property value is now $163,000 or $165,000 as opposed to what it was worth 3 years ago because of appreciation, inflation, remodeling costs, furniture costs, everything that you've done to the property to make it look the way it looks now. So she said that would be one of the, it would obviously be a workaround, but she's never had to do that. So, so I doubt that will happen. But to answer your question, you should work with a competent attorney to make sure that that you're doing everything on the up and up. Danny says, you're totally right, Andrew. The future is now, as they say. You're my inspiration. Greetings from Rio Negro. Hey, I love Rio Negro. I hope to have a finca near there one day. Rio Negro, Llanogrande. Love that area. I know this is Medellin focused, but does your company include any home sales for sale in Villa de Leyva or Tunja or Boyacá? No, sorry. Solo trabajamos acá en Medellín. Diego Rojas says, hi, can I get your contact with your management company? Money-wise, is it better to rent month to month? Already furnished? Would you guys manage my property? I'm the one with the apartment in Sabaneta. We don't manage in Sabaneta, unfortunately. We only focus on El Poblado, and for two reasons. For logistical reasons for our team, because all of our team is located in El Poblado. So, for example, our handyman or two handymen, they live in this area and they only work this area. Our cleaning ladies, one of the handymen is married to one of our cleaning ladies, so they all work only in this area. The two people that run that company, it's called 5-Star Hosts. The company, the two people that run it are my dad and Manuela, which is my baby's mom. We're not together. That's a whole other video episode. But I created that business so that they could run it, and they both live here in El Poblado, and they always go to the apartments to greet guests, etc. So if it were in Sabaneta, it just wouldn't make sense. So sorry, we can't help you there. But if you are in El Poblado, we can help. But if you ever need my contact, it's just MedellinBuzzAndrew@gmail.com. You can email me there. I just put it in the chat. Franco, what's up, Franco? You're watching from the gym. That's my brother, Francisco Franco in Medellin. DJ says plus like 250 million for something else. Yeah, whatever it is that you invested into the property, you can add that when you reevaluate it, etc. But she has never had to do that. Walk says, hey, not a Medellin. Oh, that was, wait, no, that's not the same. Not a Medellin, but I was wondering what your thoughts are on Tunja. Is the population bad there? Sorry for the non-Medellin question. I have no idea about Tunja. I've never even been to Tunja. I have family from Tunja, but I've never been there, so I don't know. I would like to know someday. Be interesting. But yeah, I don't have a desire to go to a smaller city, to be honest. I've gone to some of the great smaller cities like Pereira, Manizales. They're beautiful. They're awesome. But I get so bored, to be honest. Okay. Fern, what's up? Fern Steele says, what's up, Andrew? What's up, Fern? Fern says, I buy a property in Colombia and it's under the investor visa requirement purchase price. Would it be difficult to pay my utility bills, water, light, etc. without a visa? Cedula, thanks. No, it's not difficult. Look into Dollar App. Google that. Dollar App. It's a card. You could actually set it up so that you fund it with dollars, and then you can automatically pay EPM through Dollar App. That's what we're urging our clients to get now, because what we were doing as a management company was we were paying it for them, and then we would bill them to reimburse plus a fee at the end of the month. But once we found out about Dollar App, they can fund that themselves and pay to Colombian accounts and or pay electricity bills out here, which is perfect. Look into Dollar App, and their exchange rate is pretty good. Yeah, so you can definitely do it. Dollar App is awesome. Okay, so going back to the neighborhoods. Okay, so what's another great neighborhood in El Poblado of the 22 neighborhoods to live in long term? So let me show you the map. I'm going to show you the map, and I'm going to show you. Where is this map here? Oh, here it is. Let me show you the map, and I want to show you a few neighborhoods. So here's the map. I'm going to zoom out. There's Medellin. El Poblado's down here. Now, a lot of people, you know, they discover Medellin because they first come to this area of El Poblado to live in. For example, if you like to be in El Poblado, but you love walkability, you like cafes, you like to go to the gym, you like to do activities, you like to be close to the metro station because maybe you'll ride the metro every now and then. You want Ubers to find you easily. This area up here is not for you. El Tesoro area, this neighborhood, look how big that neighborhood is. That's all in the hills. If you live near the mall, you'll be walking to the mall, which is funny because look at the border of El Tesoro. The Tesoro Mall is not even in El Tesoro. It's adjacent to El Tesoro, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm talking about is that if you like to have a car or a motorcycle or maybe just walking downhill and then taking Uber back up into your apartments, El Tesoro is okay. But if you like walkability, for example, I'm talking about my opinion, I like to walk everywhere. I wouldn't live in El Tesoro. As nice as it is, I love Amsterdam Plaza. I love the Tesoro Mall, which is a big mall. It's probably the nicest or the ritziest mall with some of the nicest stores in there. It even has a Quicksilver store, and Quicksilver went out of business in the United States, but they have a Quicksilver in El Tesoro, which is interesting. Or at least they're going bankrupt, right? I don't even know. I read somewhere that they were. But anyway, I wouldn't live here because it's not conducive to my lifestyle. I like to walk everywhere. As you've seen my videos, I have a car, and I haven't driven my car in like a month because I don't need to. I go to cafes to work. If I do need to go somewhere further, I'll take an Uber or I'll take the car if it's like something that I know I'll do all day. But since the beginning of the year, I haven't had to use my car, which I love because I just walk everywhere. So if you're interested in Poblado lifestyle, which is a higher end lifestyle, nicer than most of the other neighborhoods in the city, you're probably going to be looking at one of these 5 neighborhoods. You've got Ciudad del Rio right here. Ciudad del Rio is like a city within a city. It's kind of like a mini Manhattan. I was just walking through there the other day. I'll be dropping a video here soon about Ciudad del Rio. But here's the street view. This is older. These buildings are already built. But you have, it's a flat area in El Poblado with a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of high-rise buildings here. And very family friendly. I would say it's predominant. It's definitely predominantly Colombians that live in this neighborhood. And you're not going to find daily rental apartments here. Oh, let me go back this way. They're very far and few between in this small area. And you will find cafes. You will find restaurants. There's a Starbucks. There's a couple hotels. There's a clinic, like a medical clinic here. There's also the Museum of Modern Art here. As you can see, there's shops everywhere, people everywhere, traffic everywhere as well. But it's a flat area. It's a flat area where you can walk. You're close to a metro station. You really don't even have to leave this area. Here's the Museum of Modern Art right here. You don't really have to leave this area to live your life basically down here. Which is nice. This is one of the areas that I would probably live in if I didn't live in the neighborhood that I live in now. I would live in this area because I do like that. I like that it's flat. I like that it's busy and buzzing. I don't like to be remote, right? Or meaning that I don't like to be away from the action. I like to be in the action. I think this might be a little too much in the action because you always have traffic. But you have people like locals that go to these cafes because they're working either at the Bancolombia building that's across the street that has thousands of people working in it, or the medical tower, which is over here, or in any of these other office buildings. And then obviously these are like all residential buildings. So people come down here, you see kids, you see families, people walking their dogs. So Ciudad del Rio is definitely one of those neighborhoods that I could live in At this stage in my life, I don't think I would live in there. I've lived in downtown Medellin, so this would be nothing for me. But as by way of like chaos, it's not that chaotic compared to downtown. But at this point in my life, I wouldn't, because I like the area that's a little bit more peaceful, less traffic. But yeah, this is a cool area, especially if you like to be very close to the action, meaning you're close to downtown Medellin, which is right here. You're close to everything that Laureles has to offer over here. You're close to a metro line, which is right here. And you're also walking distance from Barrio Manila. Barrio Manila is right here. So here's Ciudad del Rio. Sorry, I lost it. There it is. So here's Ciudad del Rio right here. And then Barrio Manila is adjacent to it. This is Barrio Manila. So you could walk over there to all the restaurants and cafes that Barrio Manila has to offer. But you're not in like a touristy area where there's a bunch of hotels, a bunch of hostels, a bunch of Airbnbs. You're in a residential Colombian neighborhood, which is Ciudad del Rio. Now let's take a look at apartments in Ciudad del Rio. Let's take a look at Airbnb first. And we'll just put in Ciudad del Rio, Medellin, Antioquia. I'll put flexible dates and I'll go monthly here. So Ciudad del Rio, as you can see, there's a lot of Airbnbs, but they're all monthlies. There's not a lot of dailies out here. So let's take a look at something. Wow, look at all these in this building. Oh, this building is amazing looking though. Look at that. It's got a pool there. This one's $1,300. Okay, let's see. Best view of cultural and gastronomic center Poblado. That was definitely not a native English speaker writing that title there. Oh yeah, Leo. Okay, so let's take a look at his apartment. The Jesus piece. You know this is a Colombian. The texture, this textured wall. Oh, it looks like a tiled wall. Okay. So this looks, definitely doesn't look like the other apartments. I think this is why it's a little cheaper. Also, photos are done with an iPhone or some sort of phone, not a professional. So you could tell why it's cheaper. This one's about $1,300 per month. The building itself looks awesome. Oh, it's across from the Ibis Hotel. Okay. Which is right there in Ciudad del Rio. And this is a 1-bedroom apartment, 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath. 3 people could sleep there. I guess he's counting the sofa as another bed. Maybe it's a sofa bed. Okay, so that one's $1,300. That's like the cheapest I've seen so far here. I don't see anything cheaper than that. Let's see, this one's $2,200. It definitely looks nicer. Just oh, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $2,200. It does look nicer though. Yeah, definitely. It's got a little desk there. I kind of like the industrial style ceilings. Makes the place look bigger. It does look colder, but it definitely looks bigger. I love the brick walls though. I think that looks really cool. But yeah, this is definitely more for tourists, people that are here for short term and they want like a nicely furnished apartment, etc. But what if you want to be here for longer term? Let's look at Metro Cuadrado. Let's see. Metro Cuadrado. Inicio. Ciudad del Rio. Poblado, Medellin, buscar. Okay, so these are for sale right here. Oh, I just want to do arriendo. Okay, well, there we go. Okay, an arriendo. All right, so this one right here is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 84 square meters for about 4 million pesos per month. This is what Colombians are paying, or locals are paying. So it's about $1,100, give or take, the exchange rate for this property here. Let's take a look at it. It's got actually a pretty good view over there of the Looks like the west side or the east. No, the west side, yeah, of the city. It's a 2-bedroom, 88 square meters. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty modern. I could definitely live in this. I would want 3 bedrooms though instead of 2 bedrooms, but it definitely looks nice. I love the balcony. I love. Okay, so definitely doable. This one's 6 million, but this one is really nice looking. Looks like it might be furnished. Let's see. This one looks like a furnished one. Yeah, this is furnished. So this one's furnished, not on Airbnb. They're asking for 6 million and what? What was it? 6350. Let's see what that is in USD. 6350. $1,700 for that apartment, which is only a 1-bedroom, 2-bath. Yeah, no thanks. I'm better off. You're better off with the. Okay, so this one looks like a cheaper furnished rental. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about the same size, 82 square meters as that nicer one that was remodeled. But this one looks like it wasn't remodeled. It's got normal bedding, normal stuff, normal furniture in it. It's got a balcony. Wow, you could fit maybe your feet in there. I don't even know if my feet would fit in there. But okay, why even add that extra space? Like, what are you gonna do over here? That's ridiculous. Okay, so this one's 4,600,000. So as you can see, there's levels to this. $1,200, about almost $1,300 for that one, with the tiniest balcony I've ever seen. But yeah, okay, so that's a 3-bedroom for about $1,200, $1,300 a month. And this one's furnished. So I'm assuming that they would talk to you if you're a foreigner because they do furnished rentals. They're not going to be asking someone that's coming here short term for a month or 2 months for a fiador. They may ask for other things, but you definitely want to talk to them. This one is not, it doesn't have a watermark. So you'd have to contact them directly here through the Metro Cuadrado page by clicking on contact and filling out the form that they have. So Ciudad del Rio is definitely a nice place, but as you can see, it could get expensive because it is definitely very desirable by locals. Many locals, it's like a dream to live in Ciudad del Rio because it's in Poblado, but it's close to everything. If you're some sort of like executive or programmer working at a company down here, you definitely want to live there in Ciudad del Rio because it's accessible. It's flat. You could get everywhere. There's a metro station across the street. Now, if we continue down into Barrio Manila here, this is definitely a place where you're not going to find many residential buildings because it's basically it's all like hotels, Airbnb rentals. You've got hostels in there. So, and the inventory is very low. Even in the small residential buildings, like over here, these are, it's very hard to find. But let's take a look if we could see any in, I mean, first of all, Barrio Manila is going to be way more expensive on here. Manila, Antioquia, Medellin, let's see. So Barrio Manila is right here. Oh, look at that. My SEO is working. So this is mine right here. Wow, $4,600 a month. Yeah, you're not going to rent that for $4,600 a month because it's at $4,600 a month because it's the Bad Bunny concert and we needed gaps to fill, so we shot up the price. But typically, this one's $2,500. It's only this because of surge pricing, and you don't do that manually. The system does it itself. But yeah, this is not $4,600. Right now it is. But typically it's about $2,500, $2,300 for this one here. And obviously this is a top floor. It's got no view, but it's right in the middle of Barrio Manila. So you're walking distance to everything. Oh, there's the stackable washer dryers that someone was asking about before. But let's look at others that aren't as ridiculously priced. This one right here. $1,700 for, this one's a 4-bedroom. I wonder why mine is so much compared to all these others. It could be it's because we are completely booked until April. Maybe demand? Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I got to check that. That's crazy. Franco or Dad or Manuela, if you're watching this, can you look into this? Why is ours $4,600 when everyone else's is like normal prices out here? Well, let's see if it is normal price, because this one, let's see. This is Barrio Manila? Yeah. Yeah, this is Barrio Manila. Sorry. Ciudad del Rio. And Barrio Manila is right here. Yeah, like, might be because these are vacant. Let's see this one right here. This is a one bedroom. This is not even a bedroom. This is a studio apartment for $1,100, which is, I guess, reasonable if you are just going to be here 1 month and maybe it's a couple. And that's it. Could be reasonable, but yeah, that's crazy. So let's take a look at the normal page. Apartamentos en arriendo el Poblado, metro cuadrado. And let's look at Manila. Barrio Manila, here it is. All right, so looks like there are a couple of apartments for rent. And look at these prices, way cheaper than Airbnb. And some of these are furnished, but obviously they're not remodeled. Let's take a look at this one here. This one caught my eye. This one's less than $1,000. This is $2,450,000 a month for 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It looks like it's furnished. Let me see. Oh, it does say, look, lindo apartamento amoblado en renta con un área de 64 metros aproximadamente por confirmar sobre escrituras. En el Poblado Manila, cuarto piso, estrato 5, en unidad cerrada. So it's in a gated condo complex, I guess, a 4th floor. It might be a 4th floor walk-up, too. It doesn't say it doesn't have an elevator, though. Escritorio, un baño privado, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But it doesn't say that it has, I guarantee you this one, that doesn't have an elevator. It's a 4th floor walk-up. But for this price, shoot, I would take this if I was coming here for a couple of months. What is this in COP? 2450? Sorry, in USD. That's $685 a month for this apartment in Barrio Manila. It's definitely not remodeled. It doesn't, like, the furniture is older. But again, if you're just looking for a place to like do recon in, this looks nice though. Do recon, you know, of the neighborhoods and stuff. $600 and some odd dollars, $685 for this furnished apartment. Not bad, to be honest. Let's see. This one's a little bit more expensive. It's still under $1,000 or about $1,000 at today's exchange rate. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, also furnished. This one looks cool. Definitely looks more traditional Colombian. Definitely hasn't been remodeled. But hey, this is not bad, you know. 90 square meters. You could probably work out a deal if you tell them to get rid of all the furniture and you'll rent it for a year as a foreigner. So this is Colombia. People, and especially in Medellin, people like to haggle and they like to do business here, even just like a mom and pop. So you could definitely work your way into an apartment like this, especially since they're catering to foreigners or to tourists with a furnished apartment. I mean, this is not, a local's not going to rent a furnished apartment. A local's going to rent something like this. Let's see. This one's empty. This one's empty. Let's take a look at this one. I know this building just by the paint. I can already tell what building this is. The green paint right there. So something like this for 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $3,150,000. $3,150,000. So it's $881. It's probably because this building is a little nicer. I know the building, but yeah, not remodeled either. As you can see, how much was that? $881 a month for this one. So this one you would have to go through the local route. In order to get this one, yeah, you would have to go through the local route, but it's worth asking, right? Oh, no, it's not even worth asking. If you ever see this company, Pro Integral, right here, if you see Pro Integral and it's an unfurnished apartment, don't even contact them. If it's furnished, you might be able to through them, but I know unfurnished, they're going to want a fiador, they're going to want to do a background check, a credit check, all the stuff that they do for locals here. All right, so let me take a look at the chat here. Sorry. Where's the chat? Oh, there you are. All right, forgive me for this is a dumb question. I'm still learning here. Can you explain what exactly is a sale of a shareholder hotel project? I came across it yesterday online in Medellin. So, for example, there's a new hotel coming up. They haven't even broken ground. They're selling shares in order to get the money to build the building, right? So they sell shares. Maybe they'll offer 1,000 shares. Each share costs, let's say, $40,000. I forget what the minimum investment is for a shareholder visa right now in Medellin with the new added increase, the 24% increase in minimum wage. It should be around $40,000 for a shareholder visa. So let's say you buy a share into the building for $40,000. They'll help you. You should have a lawyer too, but they might have an on-site lawyer or in-house lawyer that will help you apply for the visa once you are a shareholder in their business, and now you own a share in that hotel, which means that you are privy to getting making money. So whatever the deal is, they'll give you a percentage either per month or per quarter or per year for being a shareholder or part of the business, I guess. You'll get your return. Some hotels return 4%. Some hotels I've seen advertised returning 15% on your investment. So, 15% of $40,000 or whatever it is per year, not a bad investment if that is true. I don't know if it's true because I've done one investment for as a shareholder in the Landmark Hotel through Casa Col, and I think the rate of return was about 7%. And after 3 years, once it was built, I sold, or me and my business partner sold our share, and we made our money back. Obviously, we gained money because that appreciated, and we just got out of that deal. But yeah, if you buy a share in a hotel, you could become a shareholder and obviously apply for the shareholder visa. Just make sure that you meet the minimum requirement, which I think is about $40,000. But you definitely want to check that first by Googling it, and then second by talking to an attorney out here that can help you through that. Is that expensive due to the Bad Bunny concert? No, I don't know what it is, to be honest. I thought it was because of the Bad Bunny, but no one else's is like ridiculously expensive. Because this is like normal prices. I don't know why mine, it's probably because it's not available until, or maybe it's just a glitch in the system. Yeah, it's crazy. Or maybe it was just somebody on my team in the back end changed the amounts in the back end, because it's about $2,500 per month. But yeah, that's a crazy amount. Okay, so let me see if there are any other questions that I missed here. Bond says that's a total steal. Yeah, on the ones that I was showing. Yeah, so there are deals out there. It's just that people don't know. I guess you don't know what you don't know. If you don't know how to write in Spanish, apartment for rent in Medellin, El Poblado, and then know that the local website that locals use is like Metro Cuadrado, then you're not going to know, and you're going to miss out on those deals, or you're just going to go through Airbnb and pay the premium, right? Yeah, Hella says I'm going through Metro Cuadrado now. Yeah, for an Airbnb. Yeah, for a furnished rental, Metro Cuadrado has them, and they're going to be cheaper than the ones on Airbnb. Tengo un terreno para la venta en San Vicente, Antioquia, a 40 minutos del aeropuerto y a 5 minutos del municipio. Se pueden construir 4 viviendas. Nice. Thank you so much for that information. If anybody's interested, contact F. Dossier. Gary says, still, that's really good. Yeah. Raul says, like a timeshare? No, it's not a timeshare because you own a share of the company, you're a shareholder, so you own a part of the business. A timeshare, you don't own shit. Timeshare is the biggest scam in quote unquote real estate. It's not really real estate. Timeshare could be the biggest scam, unless if you really like the location and you go vacation there a lot. I could see why a timeshare could make sense. But a shareholder, you actually own a piece of the business. So if the business sells, you make money more than your investment, right? It's an investment. It's not like you're holding time like a timeshare. Like investing in a rate. No, it's not a it's not a rate. A real estate investment trust. It's basically, you could own shares in any business. By the way, it's like in the stock market. You can own one share of Google for whatever its costs right now, $300 or whatever. Well, I don't even know what Google's at right now, but you can invest in a share in the business, and then when they sell or they make more money, you make returns, right? When they make more money, you make a bigger return. If they don't make money, you make lesser return, to the point if they go bankrupt, then you lose your one share and your investment. Same thing investing in a hotel. You can invest one share into a hotel and own that piece of 1,000 pieces that they sold to investors. And then when they sell the hotel, you make money, whatever the percentage is that they're giving everything. And that will be written out on the contract too. So you definitely want a lawyer helping you with that type of investment, because the contract will tell you what happens if it's sold, what happens if they don't make money, if they're going bankrupt, etc. All of these things should be spelled out. But yeah, it's a pretty easy concept. Some hotels also offer, instead of buying a share, you can buy a suite. So you definitely want to make sure that you're working with an attorney to understand what you're getting for the money that you're paying. Because if they say that you're buying a suite, you want to make sure to understand that you actually own the property and your name is on the title. Because I've seen some investment opportunities to buy a suite in a hotel where it's really, you don't own the suite. You don't own the property, the actual hotel room. You don't own it. You just own shares in the company. Your name is not on the title. But then there are some where they do actually sell the hotel room or the hotel suite, and you are a title holder. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure. Is Medellin a Bitcoin city like how our Bukele? No, definitely not a Bitcoin city. I've seen some deals going down with Bitcoin, but no, it's not like the government's pushing Bitcoin or any type of crypto out here. Off topic, but I'm about to stay in Medellin for a couple of months and wondering how necessary it is to get the travel vaccines. Ooh, I don't know. Can someone answer that? How necessary is it to get travel vaccines to come here? I was deported here. I got 0 vaccines. I didn't even get the COVID vaccine, and I'm not dead yet. And I drink the tap water every day. And I use the gym every day. There's like the most bacteria, right? On weights and stuff. Ugh. Essential says, it's not necessary. Thank you, Essential. Just got here a week ago. No one asked about vaccines. Okay, thank you about that. Thank you for that. So no, Mota, according to Essential, it's not necessary to get any travel vaccines. T-Mac says, I've been here for 4 years and the only vaccine that I have had was the COVID vaccine. So yeah, I don't think you need any vaccines. I know they were requiring the yellow fever vaccine last year. Okay. JPEG says, hi, Andrew. Is Nomad Barrio a good or safe website to rent? I would say that I'm not going to say it's 100% safe because I don't know the people that rent on there, because it's the same thing as Metro Cuadrado. So if you go to here, let me share my screen here so that I could show you Nomad Barrio. Nomad Barrio is a good resource, by the way. Nomadbarrio.com. Why is this Airbnb thing here? Oh, there we go. So Nomad Barrio, you could look for For apartments, entire property, let's say 2 beds, minimum bathrooms, just one bedroom, 1 bath. Let's see. So you see all of these. So it's kind of like, so here are all the apartments for rent. And the cool thing is that they put the USD conversion, which is cool, right next to it. So for example, this one, high floor loft apartment near the Oviedo Mall. This is a flat area. I would definitely live in this area for sure because it's one of my favorites to live in. But who's Camilo? This is the contact. This is your host. Is he the owner? Is he a third party renting this? He speaks Spanish, English, and German, which is great. If I want to contact him, I've got an email here and I've got to register with the website, etc. So I don't know who that is, right? The difference is that on Metro Cuadrado, for example, if I go look and I go, for example, that part is called Milla de Oro. That's the Golden Mile area. That's where that one was. And I look for an apartment for rent here. In the Golden Mile, for example, this one is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Very similar, unfurnished. And I contact, it's typically, for example, this one is probably going to be a company. And it'll have a company name, and you can actually do research, background research, make sure that it's a legit company in Colombia. Same with any furnished rental here. Let's see. This one looks furnished right here. For about the same, how much was this one? Camilo's was 5,500,000, which is about 1,500. This one is slightly more, maybe like $50 more, 5,700,000 for this furnished apartment. I don't see a company name here, but again, when I contact here, I'm probably the probability is that this is not going to be an individual. Oh, look, I can tell it's not a company because they have a company logo here. And this is all of the properties that they have on the website that company has on this website. And let me see, can I get the company name? Where's the company name? I can't see this little. Oh, here we go. Interbienes. So if I just Google Interbienes Inmobiliaria, here's their website. So I know that this is a legit website. I know this is a legit company. And if I wanted to, I could do background research through the Chamber of Commerce to see if it actually is a legit website. But here's that apartment, actually. Is it the same one? Oh, that's not it. It's this one here. Looks very similar. Oh, that's Laureles. So as you could see, so you can actually go deeper on this website. So that's my only gripe, I guess, with Nomad Barrio is that I don't know who this Camilo is, and there's no company attached to it. I just have to go based on trust, right? I trust that this person is not going to scam me. Well, and you can obviously do that easily too on Nomad Barrio by not sending them money until you go to the apartment itself and see it for yourself in person and meet him, etc. And if they're renting it for a month or more than a month, there should be a rental agreement. There should be a rental contract. It's not just a word, taking your word for it. And you're not. And the other thing is that with both of these websites, Nomad Barrio and Metro Cuadrado, you're not renting through their platform and you're not paying through their platform. You're going to be paying directly to either a company or an individual. In Metro Cuadrado's case, for example, in this case, you would be paying this company directly, Interbienes. In this case, you would be paying Camilo or whatever payment system that he has set up, whether it's through PayPal or whatever, if he does accept, US type payments. But you would be paying either him as the individual or his company. I don't know. You'd have to talk to him. So you're not paying through the platform. So there is no security through the platform. It's just based on whatever you get through the person that you contact And whether it's the individual or the company that you're paying, there should be a rental agreement if it's more than 30 days. If it's less than 30 days for a daily rental, then I suggest go through Airbnb. That's a fail-safe. You're not going to get scammed on Airbnb. But if it's off of Airbnb, there should be a legal Spanish rental agreement. You can have an attorney look it over for a couple bucks and make sure that it's all on the up and up. And it should be good. So that's the difference between those websites. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, I'm going to go back to the chat here. Where is the chat? There it is. Yeah, so I think I will see if they have a nice spot near Parques del Rio. Oh, Parque del Rio. Yeah, I love that area. I like that area, and there's no through traffic. Yeah. T-Max says, I love Barrio Conquistadoras area. Yeah, that's the best area. It's one of the best areas in Laureles, I believe. It doesn't have the high rises nor expensive views, but it's nice green areas. Yeah, it's definitely walkable, residential. Is it just me, or is he still stuck on the Airbnb page? I think it's just you. Let me make sure. Yeah, it looks fine to me, the stream. Youngin says, hi, Castropol is a great neighborhood, and I appreciate your recent video, but to get to Provenza, it's kind of so close, but too far away. Are there shortcuts we don't know or not showing up? No, there's no, trust me, I've tried. There's no shortcut. You either have to go up the hill and down 36th, or you have to go down the hill, go across Avenida Poblado and up Calle 10. There is no like shortcut or break through street that goes like across the mountain. It's either up or down. And approximately it's going to take you around 18 to 15 minutes to get to Provenza from Castropol. But I think that's what makes it so much more desirable for locals. It's because they don't want that traffic from Provenza and Parquelleras and stuff in their neighborhood, because if there was a faster way, a lot of people would be cutting through that neighborhood just to get there. Banana Republic says, did you ever consider expanding to different cities or countries? I have considered it, and maybe in the future, but for now I'm in Medellin just because Medellin is growing so much and the future looks so bright right now. And also since I have a young son, I mean, he's only about 1.5 years old. So I definitely want to be here, be with the family, etc. If I didn't have a kid, I'd probably be exploring other cities. But I do like to be near my investments. Like all my properties are within walking distance of me. Jesse says vaccine requirements change monthly. You can check with your airline or the Colombian embassy website or the most up-to-date requirements. JPEG says, yeah, thank you so much. Now that I know of Metro Cuadrado, I'll be checking them out. Yeah, that's a great website to check out. Okay, so let's go over another neighborhood. I'm going to share the screen. Let's go out of El Poblado. Let's go to, that's not that. Where's my map here? Okay, so map, Google Map. I'll just put Laureles. Let's go to Laureles. The Laureles neighborhood. Open in maps. So here's Laureles right over here. So Laureles is funny. It's the same way as, it's the same thing as El Poblado. On the map, Laureles shows up to be this small area, but where in fact, Laureles is all of this area, even over here by Estadio. They're just a bunch of neighborhoods within the bigger neighborhood, right? You've got Velodromo, you've got Estadio, you've got Conquistadores. So this is the area that T-Mac was talking about. And it's one of my favorite areas in all of Laureles, and I'll tell you why. So here, I'll scroll out. It's a triangular area here. For context, you've got the big soccer stadium up here. You've got the university, UPB, over here. And then obviously you've got Ciudad del Rio over here, and Manila and Provenza is all the way over here. So we'll start with the cons first. There is no metro station very close to here, which is bad. It's bad if you like to take the metro all over the place. But that's pretty much the only con I can think of. I guess the other con would be is if you like sweeping views of the city and being on a hill. There are no hills here. It's completely flat. So the neighborhoods are all flat. The buildings are, next to each other. So you're not going to have great views of the entire city unless if you're on a very top unit, penthouse unit of some high rise here. But that's not the case usually. What I love about it are two things. Look at this green area here. This is all just one big park. So if you live around here, you are near these walking zones. Oh, sorry, I am stuck on the. Let me change the. Okay, let me go back to Laureles. Here we go. Okay, so let me show you here. Open maps. This is the area, Laureles, right here. This is all of Laureles, and then I'm going to type in Conquistadores. That's this triangular area right here. For context, I'm going to zoom out, and you can see that Conquistadores is here. You've got the stadium up here. You've got the university here, and this triangular area is Conquistadores. This is all a flat area. There's no hills, very walkable. There are two cons, I should say. The number one con is that the metro there is no metro line here. It's not close to here. You've got downtown. The other thing is that it's adjacent to downtown, so probably more smog. And also a lot of through traffic through Avenida 33, 33rd Street, that goes through all of Laureles, all the way up here into these lower income neighborhoods like Comuna 13, El 20 de Julio, San Javier. Like, this is how some of these people come down and work over here. So these are through streets, and there's a ton of traffic. They're usually at any hour of the day, but more in the peak hours. The pros, though, are that it is very residential. You've got these big green spaces like these parks here. You've got Parques del Rio, which is like my favorite park, where they do the Christmas lights during the year, in December. But when it's not December, this is what it looks like. You've got a lot of walking area. You've got a lot of green space right next to the river. It looks amazing. It's super cool to go to. There's people doing sports there all the time. There's a little cafe in there. A lot of these pictures are from, here we go. That's what it looks like there. There's a little jungle gym for kids. It's pretty awesome. It's definitely a desirable place for locals and, of course, expats, even visitors. There's not a lot of Airbnb buildings here. There are a couple that have gone up, but predominantly residential. Let's take a look at Airbnb. If I just type in Conquistadores, Medellin here, and I go monthly, Conquistadores is going to be over here. So these Airbnbs, look, there's one for $961 a month. Let's take a look at that one. This one's a furnished apartment on Airbnb. It looks like it's a one bedroom, one bath place. Definitely not remodeled, but looks decent. It looks like it's the high floor because it's got the high ceilings, the slanted high ceilings, probably in a building that doesn't have an elevator. But we could check that, I guess, on the listing. Hey, it looks really nice, actually. Looks nice for the price. For this price on Airbnb, it's not bad at all. This is in Conquistadores. But you can also find stuff that's a little bit more expensive, like this one. Let's see what this $2,000 one per month looks like. Also looks like a top floor with that slanted open ceiling there, or wood ceiling. Looks nicer. I don't know if it's worth the $2,000. Unless if it's ginormous. Let's see. I mean, it looks like it's definitely... kitchen was remodeled. But I still see the old floors. These floors are different than these floors are different to those floors. So definitely not a full remodel. And these floors are different than those two other floors. That's like the original floors. Yeah, that's kind of expensive. How big is this? Is this like giant? No, it's only a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got 11 reviews, 4.7 stars. It's not a 5-star place, but not everybody can be 5-star. I think 4.7 is good. The bathroom has been remodeled. Oh, this is why it's that much more, I think, maybe. Let's see. Bathroom looks cool. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the yellow, though. Wow, that yellow is bright. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a bright yellow. Okay, so, yeah, that one's more expensive. I don't know if they're going to be renting that out all the time. But it looks like they're only available until April. May 8th to, yeah. So the most recent or most available date is May. So they must be renting it out. I mean, the demand is there. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so let's take a look at Metro Cuadrado and put Conquistadores. Let's see if we find any furnished rentals first. This one looks furnished. Okay, this doesn't look furnished. No, it's not furnished. Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Any furnished rental? This one looks furnished. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 67 square meters. Yeah, this one is furnished. Okay, $3,600,000 per month. Let's see, COP, $3,600,000 per month. About $1,000 a month for this one that is furnished. Conquistadores. It is by a company called Cabal. I know that company, so it's definitely a legit company. Cabal, and you can just Google Cabal. Okay, so now let's take a look at what something would cost that's not furnished in the same area. Maybe a 2-bedroom, 2-bath like that. These are bigger. This one's double the size, 120 square meters, but only $3,500,000. Actually, that's pretty good. That's about what I pay for here in El Poblado, though. Let's see, anything. You really have to go through the deals, especially if you want something smaller, maybe like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 56 square meters in Conquistadores. It's got a little balcony there. It looks like the floors that were redone. The kitchen looks nice. Kind of an open concept there. If you're a single person, this could work. $2,600 or 2.6 million, I guess, in pesos. $727 a month. This is unfurnished. You'd probably have to talk to them and see how they would rent it to you. Again, that's the Cabal. Let's take a look at their local website. Let's see. Let's go here. Cabal Inmobiliaria. There it is. Inmobiliaria. Cabal. Grupo Cabal. Here's their website. So yeah, they've got a lot. But it looks like they predominantly have furnished. Let's see. Yeah, you just have to go here. Okay, it's an arriendo. So it looks like most of them are unfurnished. They have a couple that are furnished, like this one. But this is a casa campestre. It's like a home, like in some town. Let's see. Or Medellin. Where is that? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. You could go to these websites. Oh, and that's for sale. Why does it say it's supposed to be for rent? But anyway, you can go to these websites to vet the actual company that has it for rent on here. And also the thing about Metro Cuadrado that's different than let's say Nomad Barrio is that on Metro Cuadrado you have to pay to put a listing on here. On Nomad Barrio you don't have to pay. Anybody could post on there. So that's the other kind of fail safe is that here this is a paid website. I know because we sell properties and we list on here for locals and you have to pay. Once you reach a certain amount, it's not like for all of your listings, but once you reach a certain amount, you have to pay. So, for example, this company is definitely paying to have this listing up here. Okay, so that's Conquistadores. Let's take a look at another area in Laureles that I really love. This area here. This area here is like the touristy area of Laureles because you've got a lot of the hotels, you've got a lot of the nightlife and stuff, and not nightlife. You've got a lot of the restaurants. Nightlife is over here on La Setenta. So if you're walking distance from all of this, you're right in the mix of everything that's happening in Laureles. I really like this area over here, like Las Acacias. You also have this area here. Where is it? Yeah, we'll look at Las Acacias because it's literally right adjacent to here. So if I go like Las Acacias, Antioquia, Las Acacias is over here. It gets a little cheaper over here. You could find some that are cheaper, but obviously they're not going to be completely remodeled. You see more in the 1,000 range. You got 900. Oh, this one's nice. This looks like it is. It looks nice. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $944 a month, starting now in March. March 13th is the next availability. This one looks really nice, actually. It looks remodeled. It looks modern. The bathrooms look nice. Yeah, like I would stay here for sure. For $900 a month. Oh, they have a tostao on the first floor or across the street, I guess. It's pretty nice. Not bad at all, actually. Yeah, definitely get more bang for your buck in Laureles. But yeah, and you're right, walking distance from all the restaurants, cafes, everything in this one. This one looks really nice. I like it. I like that, like minimalistic, nice, almost bohemian touch that they have going there. Really nice looking. Okay. And they've got this little kitchen here. So it is pretty small though. Oh, it's not even a 1-bedroom. It's not a 1-bedroom. It's a studio apartment now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, look, this is I don't know. That's like false advertisement. It says 1-bedroom, but it's like a room. Okay, now I get it. Okay, so yeah, $944 for that. Basically, it's like a kitchenette. You got a kitchenette there, kind of like a Best Western Inn. I remember those back in California, in Southern California. Best Western, kind of like one of those, but very nice looking. And it's got air conditioning, and it's right next to everything. Now let's take a look at Las Acacias. Barrio Acacia, Las Acacias, here it is. So this one is a 2-bedroom. Let's see, anything furnished in Las Acacias. This one's furnished right here. This one's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $2.7 million. Let's see, COP to USD. Or sorry, $3.7 million. About $1,000, about $1,034 for this one here. Obviously, much bigger. You have private rooms. Not as nice though. Not remodeled. Kitchen looks old, but if you're splitting it with someone, could be good. Definitely, I wouldn't like put it past me. Especially if I was here, again, doing recon and I'm going to be like, okay, I want to live in this neighborhood. Let's rent this for a month, me and a friend, or just me. Not bad, especially if you're right in that neighborhood where it's very desirable, this area right here. So those are the areas that are like the hot spots in Laureles, I believe. I think Conquistadores is definitely a neighborhood that's coming up because of Parques del Rio. It's residential. Once the new metro line comes in Laureles, that may change things as well there. So it's definitely nice. I definitely like it. I would live in Laureles for sure. Let me go back to the chat here and answer your questions. Whoops. Let me open that up here. So anyway, there it is. Okay, so where are the nomads and expats tonight? I haven't spoken English in a week. Well, they're probably at the Bad Bunny concert. T-Mac says, no, Laureles is not downtown. No, it's adjacent. Downtown is adjacent to Laureles. It's just basically across the highway from it. Um, I heard not good for the plumbing there. Thanks for clearing that up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't had problems with plumbing only in older. So what I've done is when I buy apartments in older buildings, I redo all the plumbing because they've got the small copper pipes that are like that big. You want the bigger PVC pipes going through there because we're American and we like to take big dumps. Conquistadores is perfect for people with dogs. Plenty of places to walk a dog. Yeah, it's very pet friendly. T-Mac says, thank you for the $1.99 and screen not showing. I appreciate that. I figured that out once I saw that the screen wasn't showing. I appreciate that, T-Mac. Yeah, so living in Medellin in those areas is great. Now let's take a look at some areas that are not as popular. For example, let's talk about Belen. Let's look at Belen on the map real quick. It's not as popular just because people don't know it. Let's go to the map here. Belen, Medellin. So I've dated a couple girls from Belen. I never lived in Belen, but I've been in Belen many a times. So here's Belen. Let's see. If I go Belen, Medellin. I wish it would outline it for me. Oh, there we go. Look how big Belen is. This is all of Belen, this red area here. The main part of Belen and the flat part of Belen is Parque de Belen right here. This is the flat part of Belen. You've got the church. You've got the square. This is what it looks like at night. You can see old people. A lot of people just hang out here at night or during the day even to just sit down and talk. There's the park. So this is definitely a flat area of Belen. Everything is walking distance as well. That's what I like about Belen. Let's talk about ¿qué estrato es Belen, Medellin? What socioeconomic stratus is it? So the majority of Belen is estrato 3 and 4. One thing that I did notice when I've gone to Parque de Belen a lot, and I bet you right now, as I walk through here, I will see homeless people here drinking. But you see kids and families, but it's something that you're not going to escape, is that there will be homeless people drinking, homeless people around this area because it is a flat area. It's a lower income neighborhood. It's a strato 3. I think this area is strato 3, but there are strato 4s out of 6. So it's, this is like working class Colombia, working class, middle class Colombia, or I guess Medellin. Which is way different than middle class America, because middle class America, for example, in Southern California, where properties are no less than $500,000 to $1 million in middle class America. Here, that's not the case. If you're a strato 3, which is right in the middle between 1 and 6, it's poorer, I guess, than what you would see in the United States in a middle class neighborhood. So make sure you'll understand that. So here, I'll go to the street view here. I don't know why it wasn't letting me. So here's the street view of this area. Wait, that wasn't the park. Oh, here. Here's the park area. And yeah, you see a lot of this, like people sitting down there, older people. But one of the things that I noticed every time I go there is that there will be people drinking at the park, like openly. And I'm not talking about just a beer. I'm talking about like hard, cheap liquor. And you could tell it's like alcoholics, either older people or just, you could tell that they're vagrants or bums, right? Basically. That was my only caveat that I had with this area. Since I have a kid. When I was younger, I didn't care. I had friends that lived there and we'd go drink in the park. type thing. I didn't care. But if I have kids and, I'm going to bring them to the park, I don't want them to be around that. You know what I mean? Same with my grandma, my mom, my dad. They're like, this is not the area that I want to live in. Or that's not the vibe that I wanted to. I did it when I was younger. I lived near Parque Periodista, which is even worse than this in downtown. But what I'm saying is that, like, at my age, at 45, got a family, I've got, businesses, etc. I'm not going to be living in Parque Belen. If I were to live in Belen, though, this is where I would live. Let me show you something. For example, up in the hills, it's really nice. For example, I had a girlfriend that lived up here. For example, let's take a look at some of these. For example, these are like Estrato 4 neighborhoods now. Now you've got high rises, they've got pools, definitely family friendly. Look at this one, has a little mini golf course. Siempre verde. So these are the type of places that I would live in now. If I were younger, I would definitely want to be by the park. But here, I would want to be in these areas. Let's look at some more. Belen La Palma is nice too here. Belen La Palma. This is still flat area. You've got the mall, Los Molinos, nearby as well. Let's see. Mar Valle. Yeah, I like La Loma de los Bernal up here. Definitely is nice, and up here as well. So you have nicer areas than just the park. A lot of people think that Belen is just that park area, and they're like kind of turned off by it because, again, it's like a Strato 3. But you do have nicer buildings in the hills of Belen, but you're going to be in the hills. But again, it is nice. Let me show you this other part. Here's the country club. So this is the country club here, where there's a 18-hole golf course. It's right next to Belen. This area is nice too. You have some really nice apartments over here, like in Rodeo. Like, a lot of people don't know about this, but I have a few expat friends that live up here, like in these apartment buildings. Because first of all, you get these type of views because it is on a hill, but you've got really nice apartments, and they're way cheaper. Look at this view. They're way cheaper. So here's these apartment buildings. They're way cheaper than El Poblado and also cheaper than Laureles, but nice. It's a Strato 3. These, I think, are Strato 4, which is the same as many of the neighborhoods as El Poblado. As Laureles. So, for example, this area by the golf course is nice. I like it. This place is called La Mota. These are like old. La Mota has a lot of like houses, like townhouses like this. This is La Mota. So if you look for a neighborhood called La Mota, which is adjacent to Belen, you're going to find some great like townhouse gated communities like this. Next to the golf course. Look at the smog back then. This was like, you could tell that this was in 2017. They had to shut down the city at one point at this time because look at the smog back then. It was crazy. But yeah, you've got some beautiful areas over here, and you're next to the golf course. If you want to join the country club, it's about $3,000 a year, $6,000 the first year. This is the Arcadia Mall right here. You've got the Unidad Deportiva de Belen, which is right here. But yeah, over here, like Belen El Rincon is nice. They've got some nice apartments up here. Now let's take a look at, for example, Airbnb. Let's just look El Rincon. Belen El Rincon. We'll just go flexible on the months, which is over here. No Airbnbs over here. Look at that. That's crazy, right? Like no Airbnbs up here, but you do have some by the golf course. Let's look. This one per month. Holy cow. Look at this. $500 a month. $238 a month. And these are not bad areas. These are safe areas. Look at the building looks like this, very similar to what a building would look like in Laureles. It's gated, 24-hour security. It's got a pool, got a basketball court. Let's look inside. How did they not have pictures of what it looks like inside? Oh, here we go. So obviously it's not going to look as nice as remodeled apartment, but it looks kind of comparable to some of the ones that we saw in Laureles that weren't remodeled. For that price, it's not that bad, especially if you want to scout out that neighborhood like Belen Rincon, El Rodeo, and the other adjacent neighborhoods to Belen for $238 a month. It's not bad. The next available date for this one is not till February. It's February this year, 2026. Okay. Let's take a look at more because I saw some others. Where's my Airbnb? Here it is. Okay, so let's go back. This one is La Mota. This is probably a house, like in La Mota. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you could tell that this is like a townhouse, like a 2-story townhouse. Yep, there it is. Because La Mota doesn't have any real high rises. It's mostly a lot of these townhouses. So you can rent this entire townhouse right here, 2-story townhouse, for $500 a month. This one has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Wait, sorry. 1 bedroom, 2 baths. Sorry, it's not but it is 2 stories. So it's kind of cool. Okay. So as you can see, even on Airbnb, this area is cheap, but it's undiscovered. It's, because it's very residential, very Colombian. So Belen is nice. Just people don't know about it. So it's not as desirable. And on top of that, since it's not as desirable, a lot of the locals, they don't put in a ton of money to remodel so that it looks spectacular. Because again, this is like middle-class Colombia. But some of these look really nice. Let me see. This is for 5 nights. Hold on. It says, I see. I picked week. That was like, no wonder. Okay. So here we're back. Okay, so these prices. Sorry, that's not the price per month. I made a huge mistake. I thought it was on monthly, but it's weekly. It was weekly. Regardless, some of these, now it's on month. For example, this one's $600. Oh, it's that same one. $600 a month for this 1 bedroom, which actually doesn't look that bad. And it's a true 1 bedroom, and it has this little, oh, wow, this is actually a pretty good one. It's got this this deck up here, or like this upstairs area, which is pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, Airbnb, you're going to get ripped off. I mean, you're just being a tourist anyway. Let's go to here and go to, let's look at Belen, for example, Rincon. Belen Rincon. Let's go to Arrendar. Yeah, these, you could tell these are way cheaper prices. For the unfurnished, it's like half of what El Poblado is, for sure, and lower than Laureles. But look, there's none that are furnished. There are no furnished rentals on the local site. Let's see, La Mota. La Mota also has no furnished rentals either. What if I just put Belen? Let's see. If I just put Belen, you've got to go here. Oh, not Belencito. Belen, Medellin. There, it doesn't come up. Arrendar. No, come on. Belen. It's not coming up. Ciudad Caqueta. Chaco. Oh, Belencito, no. Belen, Manizales, Belen, Barrio. Here it is, Medellin. So for Belen, the whole entire of Belen, looks like there is one for rent here, which is about $1,300 or so for 5 million pesos. Yeah, so even the rentals in this area, furnished rentals, are going to be more expensive, but less than what they are on Airbnb. And they're bigger too. This is a 2-bedroom for 127 square meters. Yeah. So you could definitely find them. So again, I would suggest using Metro Cuadrado to do recon on Belen, but that's one of the areas that you could definitely check out that is undiscovered and that has cool stuff to do around it. For example, like it's got the mall, it's got the Unidad Deportiva de Belen, where it's like the sports complex. You also have the Arcadia Mall. You've got the Price Mart, the Medellin Price Mart, and you also have if you like to play golf, you could just pay to play a round of golf. You don't have to join the country club, which is right there. And everything is close in Medellin. You're just an Uber ride away from, like Laureles or El Poblado, etc. Okay, so that's that. Now let's talk about Envigado. Here's Envigado right here. Envigado is a big city. It's the whole city here. The more you go up into the hills up here, the more expensive the apartments are going to be. And the cheaper apartments are going to be like down in this area. So let's take a look at, for example, on Airbnb, if I just type in Envigado, Antioquia, and I go flexible on months. And I scroll into Envigado here. So, as I said, like this flat area, you'll find some apartments that are way cheaper. Like, for example, this one's $400 a month for this room in Envigado. It's not even an entire apartment, just for a room. Okay, that's pretty expensive. Why is this month? I want the entire thing, though. Let's just say 3 guests. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, the cheaper ones are going to be down here. So you've got this one for $800 a month. It looks nice. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a 2-story one. So if you don't like stairs inside your apartment, you probably won't like this one. But not bad, especially because it's in an area where you're going to be, it's walking distance to things. Right here. Yeah, in this area. Yeah, you definitely want to be in that area, especially if you're in Envigado. So let's take a look at Metro Cuadrado. And if I just type in Envigado. So the local route, you find some stuff that is cheaper. But you do have furnished apartments in Envigado here. This is $7 million. That one looks nice, though. That's pretty expensive, though. $10 million. For this one. So yeah, you could find some really expensive stuff in Envigado because it's a big city. So the further up the hill, the nicer the apartment complexes are. Some of them are brand new. So you're going to find more expensive stuff, but you can find older stuff that's cheaper. And that's what's going to be the cheaper ones. So for example, this one right here, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $3,350,000. So it's basically under $1,000, probably like $900 or so with today's exchange rate. But you could tell it's an older apartment. It's furnished kind of with older furniture as well. Looks like the kitchen was remodeled, but still it's got that stainless steel that's very generic. It's not upscale. But again, if you're doing recon in this area and you want a furnished rental for under $1,000 a month, you don't have to furnish it and you could go month to month. This might be the place or the area. Let's take a look. It doesn't have the map here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is right there. Okay, so I know where that is. Yeah, this is over here. You're next to the main park of Envigado in this area. So yeah, like if you're around here, you could do a lot of recon here. But to be honest, most of the people, all of the people, not most, all of the people that have bought properties from us in Envigado have been up in these hills because you have way more beautiful apartments. You've got views. For example, like, let's take a look at, for example, like these apartments here, you're going to have amazing views And some of them have amenities. This is when it was getting built, I guess. And yeah, most of them do have amenities if they're new. But yeah, up in the hills, you're going to find way better apartments, but they're going to be more expensive. Oh, here's where Super Bowling is. Have you guys been to Super Bowling? I highly recommend going to Super Bowling. This is what it looks like, by the way. Look at the bar at Super Bowling in Envigado. It's amazing. Super cool place. Yeah, this is what Super Bowling looks like here. I don't know if you guys have been there. If you haven't been to Super Bowling, it's a really cool place to go, even with friends or family. I mean, it's definitely family friendly. They've got a bar there, but they also have a restaurant. Their food is actually pretty darn good. But yeah, Envigado is a great area. And I also like Sabaneta. Like if I were considering a move to Medellin, and obviously I didn't have a business that I had to run inside of the city of Medellin, I would be looking at Envigado and Sabaneta. Sabaneta is awesome because, again, you have a flat area down here. The newer apartments and stuff are up in these hills over here. But the price difference is noticeable. For example, if I go Sabaneta, Antioquia, and again, I put flexible dates for the whole month. And I'm going to put 3 guests so that it doesn't just give me a room or whatever. Sabaneta down here, you can tell that, you know, you do get more cheaper apartments even on Airbnb. For example, this one's $800. It's $800, but look, it looks newer. It is newer because these apartments are usually newer here because they've got a lot of new construction. Definitely better than what you would get $800 for in like Belen, Laureles, and of course in El Poblado. Your dollar goes a longer way, but you're also further away. But that's okay if you don't mind, you know, being in an area like this. Look how beautiful this park is. Look at that. This is Sabaneta. It feels like a small town. You've got the church here. You've got the town square. It is a great area to be and to live. Look at that. And it's 100% local. Yeah, you may see an expat or two, but most of the people that live here, the majority are going to be locals. This is what it looks like in December, by the way. A lot of people make this a destination in December. A lot of locals, they'll go to El Parque de Sabaneta to look at the Christmas lights there, to have the street food. But yeah, even during the year, it's really fun to go here because they have little restaurants. They've got shops there. It's definitely one of my favorite places to live in Medellin if I didn't have a business that I had to run in El Poblado and I have my life situated here. If I were alone or looking to start a new life in this city, I would look at Sabaneta. Sabaneta is up and coming. It's only going to grow more because of the fact that Medellin has just gotten small for the population. That's why it's gotten bigger. When I first got here 17 years or 16 years ago, Sabaneta was a small town. There were still bars where people would come in on horseback to, like, there weren't bars. They're what we call fondas. Fondas where people would come in on horseback to drink, like in the park and stuff like that. It was still a small town. Now it's just another city adjacent to Medellin, like Envigado. When I got here, Envigado was already a big city. I think the population of Sabaneta is only 50,000. But back in 2010, it was way less than that. It was just a small town. So I would look into there, and I would also look into, if you like more rural areas, I would look into Rio Negro. Rio Negro, Antioquia is over here. Here's Medellin, here's Rio Negro. All the way over here, it's where the airport is when you fly in. But it's an up-and-coming little city because, again, Medellin is becoming overcrowded with locals. Locals are overcrowding Medellin, so they're all looking for newer places to move to. Rio Negro used to be like the place where Colombians or locals had like their vacation home or their country home, their fincas out here. Now it's become a city. So Rio Negro is great, and if you've got money, Llanogrande. I love Llanogrande. Llanogrande is more ritzy than Rio Negro, but it's adjacent. As you can see, this is Llanogrande, but it's definitely more ritzy than, it has restaurants like this, like high-end restaurants like La Causa. It's got, this is like where the rich Colombians are moving towards, is Llanogrande. And they've got their own country club up here. By the way, if you join the Rodeo Country Club, you get access to this country club for $3,000 a year. This is what the country club there looks like. Awesome. Like, I can't wait to join. I'll be joining in, I think, April of this year. But yeah, I'm getting back into golf, guys. I haven't golfed in like 20 years. So here's Mall Llanogrande. This is what it looks like. Yeah, it's like a strip mall, almost like a strip mall. It's a flat mall, but you get what I'm saying. This is more high end, rural Colombia, but it's still a high end neighborhood or a high end town, I guess, where you have beautiful areas like this. Let's look at the price of Airbnbs in Llanogrande. Actually, I've never done that. Llanogrande, Antioquia. Here it is. Let's go flexible on the months. Go 3 people in Llanogrande. Here it is. Why does it keep going back to weeks, months? There we go. Okay, so Llanogrande, as I said, it's more ritzy, it's nicer. Look how the prices are way more expensive than Sabaneta and Envigado. Right off the bat, you could see there's nothing less than $1,400 a month here. For looks like a 1-bedroom. Let's see, it has a jacuzzi, but look, this is the type of stuff that you get in Llanogrande. This is why it's more expensive. It's where the ritzy Colombians have their second apartments or their second homes, their country homes. This is just an apartment here. Looks like a 1-bedroom. Yeah, this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 1.5 bath. But look at the amenities. It does have a pool. It looks like a newer building. For sure. So Llanogrande is definitely a spot that you could live in. So anyway, let me go back to the scene here and go to the chat here. What's up, Gary? Gary, thank you so much for the super chat. Gary says, thanks for doing all this for real. I hope you're going to put up the live later so I can watch it again. Yes, it will be live. It'll live on the channel so you could rewatch the whole thing so I could get everything I missed from earlier. And thanks for always for being bluntly honest. Thank you, Gary, for the donation and the super chat. Appreciate that. Damn, Andrew, you passed 2 hours. You're a machine. Is it past? It hasn't felt like it. It's like I'm just looking at Google. This is what I do for fun, by the way. I know it sounds weird, but this is like what I'll do for fun. I've never looked into Llanogrande for rentals, actually. So I'm not surprised that it's expensive. My attorney lives out there. She lives in a gated community that has everything, even a daycare inside of it. So they're like really nice gated communities there. I wouldn't mind living or having a second home out there, but you have to have money, like a lot of money, to buy an actual house. Super Bowling was awesome. I took my group tour, took my tour group there in August. That's awesome. Yeah, so there's a lot to unpackage in Medellin and in the vicinity. If you are looking to relocate and you want me and my team to help you, there is a link in the description below to the Medellin Masterclass one-on-one call. If you're interested in the Medellin Masterclass, it's a 6-hour course that you could take online while you're not even here in Medellin. You could start now. And it's more than a course. It gives you all of the resources that I've gathered over the 16 years that I've been here, and my business partner as well, including all of my attorneys, my lawyers, my tax guys, the health insurance lady that we work with. Everyone that we have access that I use is in that and then some, because I did a ton of research along with my business partner to put it all together for you to make your relocation way smoother than just you doing it by yourself. You can do it by yourself, but by joining the Medellin Masterclass, you just cut that time probably by half, if not more, and you will save money because things like this, what I just did right now, looking for those local deals, is what we go through in the Masterclass. And on top of that, you get to join the group of the other 50 plus people that have become masterclass members on our WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to use them as a resource. Obviously, I'm in there, and so is my business partner, AK. We literally talk in the masterclass private WhatsApp group every day. Someone has questions or someone has an observation, says, hey, did you guys see this event happening over here or whatever? So I think that's like the biggest value, is having like a group of people that are going through the same thing that you're going through, that you could bounce ideas off of, that you can get information from. We were talking about delivering packages here, not packages, but like actual like big boxes from someone that's moving down here that just joined the masterclass. So yeah, it's definitely worth the value. And if you want to learn more and you want to schedule a one-on-one call, the link is in the description below. Fill out that form. Also, I'm starting a Spanish school, guys. If you are looking to study Spanish while you're down here in Medellin, we are offering evening classes from 5 to 7 p.m. only. It's called nomadspanishmedellin.com. nomadspanishmedellin.com. The site will be live in a couple of days. It's live now, but the form isn't working yet because we haven't gotten all that. But you can check out the website and all the information is there. You just can't join the classes yet, but that will be live in a couple of days, and you can book your classes in advance. And the whole point is to make it the best evening Spanish school in Medellin, Colombia, and hopefully all of Colombia, because then we'll have Nomad Spanish Bogota, Nomad Spanish Cartagena, and then we'll move out. This right now it's a beta, it's a concept, we're testing it out. Once we have the proven concept and a working school here, in the next couple of months we'll be expanding to other cities and using our same format. So I hope that you guys do join it if you are looking to study Spanish in the evening. If not, then you can go to Blink Spanish during the day, which is great. All right, guys, have a great night. I hope you all had found something valuable out of this live. I will see you guys next Friday. Obviously, I will have videos coming up every day almost. I'll see y'all in the next one. Hope you all have a great night and a good weekend.